See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane, they cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicating rage. Not this is far more tragic than what's comprehended. This has got to stop. I don't understand everything as a man. I'm authorized by God to make this petition. Believe it, especially when you hate and aim to kill a man.
All right. Guess who's back? The hottest, dopest, most livest podcast show out there, TOTB. Man, we're so glad to have y'all back here. Whatever you're doing in the world, you are tuned in right now. So make sure you go like, share. If you're on YouTube, it's TOTB_show. Facebook, IG, Twitter, TOTB the dopest. To everybody that's been streaming our stuff, that's been rocking with us for years, episode after episode, season after season. Salute to y'all, man. Even the people that trying to get us off air, that try to cancel us, that try to take our stuff and make crazy little videos with it, mainly him.
Right.
We thank y'all too, all right? We have so much to talk about, man. It's a lot going on in this season. We have another dope guest we're gonna get to in a minute. But let's get the thinkers introduced in front of this lovely audience here. This guy right here makes me look like a saint every time. Moolah Monster, what's up? Where can they find you?
Check me out at Moolah Monster Collections or moolahmonster.com. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Disclaimer, y'all have to get ready, fam. We're gonna get ready to our guest in a second, but my man over there, gospel artist, Pastor Holy Ground. What's up, bro? Where can they find you, man?
Man, blessed is great people. You can find me at Holy Ground on IG and also all streaming platforms. Get in tune, stay in tune, and of course TOTB_show.
There it is. Of course, Reggie moving forward. Well, just call me RMF. Reggie moving forward on all social platforms or on the nightcap on Tuesday nights. But with that, we are
thinking outside the box.
The box. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of a beautiful audience, in front of everybody that's tuning in, wherever you're at, for what we have the honor of having another elegant, beautiful guest.
Indeed.
Entrepreneur, well-known publicist. Let's give a big hand clap to Briahna. Yes. What's the word? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Where can they find you?
First of all, thank you guys for having me. Thank you. And you can find me at Swank PR, which is my company. It's SWANK PR. Or you can find me personal. My personal Instagram is usually, BRIAHNA31. So Briahna31 or Briahna J, Briahna Gatlin. You can Google me and everything usually pops up.
Oh yeah, so, for sure. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
She's an OG.
Oh yeah.
I got a little time in this thing.
So we are about to have some fun. We're gonna get into that bag, of course. We have a lot to talk about. The pulse of our world has just gone up, man. So it's always some interesting things to talk about. And once again, TOTB_show on YouTube, TOTB the dopest on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. And look, above all, you can find us right here at Indie Network, man, every single weekend, bringing you the hottest and the dopest topics. Shout out to everybody that's been sending us emails, right, about topics and things, and even the bad ones we get too, all right? So we want to thank y'all too. But, Briahna.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to have some fun, okay?
Okay.
Now, I want to let you know, everything you say on here, you already know we can't erase it.
Okay.
And everything,
I ain't worried about that.
Everything negative you want to say to him. All right? That's the guy that you throw it at, all right?
I don't know. We'll see.
So much is going on. We thank you for having the time to come and kick it with us. Grind. What are we talking about, man?
Well, first off, let me say this. Well, today's top, we're going to get straight to it. Mm-hmm. The title of today's show is Industry Takeover.
The Takeover.
Industry Takeover. The question would be like, well, who's taking over the industry and what industry is you talking about? So, of course, I want to say this up front. First and foremost, they say man was God's greatest creation, but what I would have some issues with my father if he did not create women, because y'all are just so beautiful. And I don't know what I'd do without women. So you know what I mean. And what I will say is that you are very important, just as the man is very important. But I do have a question, because now I didn't watch. I actually didn't see it, and y'all listen to me. I didn't watch the BET Awards. Yeah, like shame on you. Whatever. I didn't watch the BET Awards, right? But somebody was telling me something like it was all women doing it or something. They was trying to breaking it down. Maybe y'all can help me out with that later, or something like that. They was performing. Now you think about that. You think about now your top artists, like your top 10 rap artists. I know for a fact, I don't know all of them, but I keep up with some of the stuff. But I know until this last little beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, I think Cardi B was like number 1. But then I think Kendrick Lamar took it over. They were like the number 1 spot. So Cardi B is like number 2 right now. I don't know exactly where Meg Thee Stallion fits in at, but I think she's still in top 5, if I'm not mistaken. And if anybody know anything otherwise, please let me know. I believe she's still in the top 5. Another artist that I know is up there, like in the top 10 or 15, is Doja Cat. And just thinking about all these things, right? And you think about what's being portrayed, what I hear on the radio, because you listen to the radio, and all you seem to hear is some of the artists that I named, along with your Sexy Reds and all. So when you talk about an industry takeover, the question is it like women really taking over the industry and have taken lead when it comes to like the entertainment industry?
Has women finally surpassed us men in the industry, right? TOTB the dopest, the Takeover. What, honestly, do you think that the state of where we at now in the industry, women, Glorilla, Cardi B, Sexy Red, all these women that are polarized on the radio and videos, do you think it's time for the changing of the guard now?
When you say changing of the guard, do you mean the changing of the guard from one woman to the next woman, or you mean
women versus men?
Well, I'll say this. Women have always been the backbone, even in the industry.
Okay.
Like, we carry a certain level of integrity, responsibility, multitasking. A lot of women that work with these executives, like, we've always been kind of that hold you down space, and it's in the industry as well. So there's always some woman or some female industry exec or some, even if it's an administrative assistant or personal assistant to some big, huge, executive who's always there, either helping them, saving them. That's why a lot of times, again, when you hear stuff like when a lot of these people start going down, a lot of, women that you don't know come out because they've been in that space, meaning like the people that's working behind these execs. So right. I'm bringing that up to say that women have always been in the background, running a lot of the industry, from the PR side to the management side, in so many different positions. But when it comes to music, I think that ironically, women have always been played the background. I think that I'm happy that women are like the forefront right now, because to me, I feel like there are a lot of, we've always gotten kind of like the second string or the second, like we've never been able to kind of be the forefront of the music industry. So I'll put that out there. But then there's a lot of exploitation that comes with that.
True.
And so when you start talking about the exploitation and you start talking about the talent, it's a lot, that line actually becomes really fine. There's so many differences and nuances when it comes to women versus men in the music business, especially. So when you start asking me that question, it's a very loaded and layered perspective that I have to bring to tell you, to talk about it, because you got young women who are looking at the Sexy Reds. You got young women who are looking at Megans and Glorillas and Cardi B. And of course, it's still all about sales, but definitely sex has become the more so the forefront of it. And so what it does is it kind of blinds the talent, but at the same time, there's a lot of men that are writing for these women.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you said that though, because that definitely will bring up another question. Okay, well, before we go there, I just want to say I believe you're 100% right about the women being in the background and being the background, background and being the backbone when it comes to like the industry, because I believe most men, they thrive off the approval of a woman. You know what I mean? Even from when we was growing up and hustlers, they tried to hustle to get the woman. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The whole point is to look good to attract females.
Yeah.
Whether it's female fans. So, I mean, it's women. We spend the money. We on the consumer side too. So a lot of things do happen because they want women to buy things, or it's selling us into something. Yeah. We spend our money on things like that. So absolutely, we do.
So watch this. Sometimes do you think sometimes it can be kind of toxic though, because you'll have it where you'll have some men who doing it for the purpose of attracting a woman, but then sometimes do you think it can become toxic to the point where you'll have some men just like mimicking women? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think it's becoming a problem to where they mimicking the things that women like to attract more women to them?
I don't know, cause see, to me that's just sassy. I'm not trying to, if you trying to mimic what I'm doing, then I'm not gonna be attracted to that. Personally, I'm not attracted to that.
I'm glad you ain't.
So, but I think there's a certain level of acceptance that comes in the industry depending on what direction the industry is going in. Mm-hmm. So again, if everybody is doing this one thing, sometimes they'll just kind of gear towards that, which is not good because that's a group thinking mentality.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Moolah, what you got?
I just want to say, I want to give you your flowers because you've been doing your thing in Chicago. And you're from the West Side, right?
Yes, I am.
Salute.
We ain't gonna hold that against you, though.
Whatever. We know the West Side is the best side. Look.
And to all our viewers who don't know, you know what I'm saying, you've been doing this for how long? 20 years now?
I'm about 20 years in.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm past 20 years. If you're gonna say the overall industry, absolutely yes. So I started out as a journalist. So I'm a journalist turned publicist. So I started out writing about music, writing about a lot of Chicago artists. I used to write for The Source. I used to write for The Red Eye. I wrote for a lot of different publications, allhiphop.com when I first started, when I came into the industry. And then I went from journalist to publicist. So I still tell the story. I just tell it from a different perspective this time.
It's dope.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and we need that. We need, more women behind the scenes than just in front of the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get to the business part.
Okay.
Because I'm about the money. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
So I want to know, being a publicist, do you choose, or do they choose you, as far as the talent?
I mean, if we talking business, let's start with the business part. If we're talking business, there was a time in my career where I would work with everybody. Okay. And I did it because I was an entrepreneur. I needed money. But some of those artists did break. And then when it got to the point where I was able financially to pick and choose who I wanted to work with, that's when I started choosing who I wanted to work with. Because when you start bringing on, working with 10 artists, at one point I had a roster of 10 music artists. I don't even know how I did that. I would never do that again, but I had a roster and I was working with about 10 music artists. So I was just rotating them. And I did a great job at it, but you can't really do the best version of what you do if you multitasking with 10 different people that are all trying to get to the same place. So now I can choose who I want to work with. It depends on the budget. Sometimes I'll overcharge them so they can tell me I can't afford it. I'll see you later. I've also told people, no, I'm not working with you. Your music sucks. So because it's too much, I'm gonna have to listen. I've done it. Somebody gave me a bag and I was like, I can make this work. No. It takes way more effort to sell into something you don't believe in.
You catch a lot of flack from that?
I mean, not really, because majority of my colleagues was like, well, it's a check. Like the industry inside is everybody trying to get paid because music does not really generate a lot of money from the beginning.
Right.
So everybody is gonna at least try to work with this person if they got a budget. Once they budget run up, if you don't believe in that artist, next. That's the truth.
So do people contact you like off the internet? Like, hey.
Oh yeah, I get DMs. I get at least 1 to 2 inquiries a week.
Oh, damn.
About PR, and I don't always take on everybody and it took some time to like create a filtering process because, again, that's just a lesson you learn as you're growing and you're working with people. You like, I don't want to deal with anybody just coming, being able to have access to me. Right. And so for me, I had to change my whole filtering process where they can go on the website, they got to fill out a consultation form. But it took time for me to get that process the way I got it now, so that when people actually go through and I can see, okay, there's a series of questions I ask them I don't even respond to them. My project manager responds to them, depending on the budget. If the budget says what it needs to say, I'll tell the project manager, okay, we can talk to them. If it don't, I don't say nothing, and I tell the project manager, you can respond to them, send them what you need to send them the price list. Because I know more. Some people will trick you and put what they want to put on there, and then you'll get on the phone with them and they'll tell you they got more money. So, but at that point, my project manager is there to filter everything, because if I spend my time talking to every inquiry I get, when am I going to have time to actually do the work? That the people that pay me, to do that. So I had to learn, like, okay, that's potential money. That ain't what's coming in already. Right. So I got to satisfy the clients that I already have, make sure they're taken care of, and then whoever trying to get in, let somebody else handle that until it becomes a real thing.
Oh, but you oversee it.
I get the email and I forward it right to the person who is gonna filter the process. Okay. The only time I talk to people is if I've either had a previous relationship, but I still send them to that person, because when you start wanting to filter out who you want to keep, who you want to, take out, you have to have a filtering process. You cannot do it alone, and you can't do it like that, because you'll end up burning out. So no.
So my question would be, so if you want to, give a little game to anybody watching who may have some questions about this, what would be, if you could, what would be a legitimate budget starting off for a new artist, so they won't, have this fairy tale, it's just easy and all I need is this, because things have changed.
Yes.
You ain't out here, you can't get out here and sell 100 CDs out the trunk no more and stuff like
nobody's
that.
buying them.
Right, exactly. So what would be a legitimate budget for somebody coming forth that's trying to break?
So the first thing I tell anybody it can be music, it can be your own business, it can be me pushing another business owner, it could be a product. The thing is if you are a new person and you just new to things and you starting out, that means there's more elbow grease and time that got to be put into it. So there's more work. Right? So that's more hours. That's more manpower, because nobody knows you, versus if I got somebody who has an established brand, it's not going to be that much work. So if it's music, I'm starting somewhere between $25,000 to $3,000 a month. If it's somebody established or somebody that I've had a relationship with, it's still going to be that price. But the difference is, like, it's easier to navigate with them. So I don't have to I can kind of get them where they're going a little bit faster if it's established. So a lot of times I'll do like one-off projects depending on who it is, you know. But if it's a new artist, I always tell them it's gonna take me more work. I gotta do way more convincing for somebody that no one knows.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if you stop, your buzz goes down very quickly, especially with everybody's attention span.
Yeah.
You can be buzzing, and 2 weeks later, if you just not consistent, people forget.
Yeah, fast.
So I got a question too, right? As far as with talent, have you ever had a podcast? As far as you can, you know.
So I've worked with all type of different clients. I've done radio shows. I don't remember what podcast I used to work with, but it wasn't a long relationship. Just because, again, it's consistency. It doesn't matter who it is. It's about the consistency. So if you're consistent, it'll make sense. But also, I'm one of the people, I'm going to sit down and say, okay, what do you need me for? Meaning like, what are you trying to go? Where are you trying to go? What's your angle? What do you want to do? Because I'm not just going to take you on just because you got a budget either no more. I need to know how much of a headache this going to be. It's 5 of y'all. That means I got to gather everybody together. Like, all of that plays a part. So even working, whether it's a group, whether it's a network, whether it's a media outlet or whatever it is, there still has to be some synergy. I still have to be like, okay, what is the goal? Where are you trying to go? Because I'm not going to just take the money and start working and not have anywhere to go with this. We need to have direction.
Let me say this. For those of y'all checking in and y'all see the title, Industry Takeover, and we talking about the perception out here is like women is taking over the industry. This is the reason why, and this is the positive aspect of it. You got women out here that's business minded, that's standing on business, that'll do the stuff that a lot of us men are lazy to do and find out about doing, and even have the knowledge of doing when it comes to the ins and outs of the business, of entertainment. So for y'all get on your game, because even though we bringing up the topic, it's a lot of times we talk about this stuff with guys, and they talk about it. It's like, man, it's like they allow women to do this, or they got women doing this, but a lot of times it's just that we're not stepping up to be knowledgeable of what we need to do as men to go further in the entertainment industry.
Well, people don't think they need to do work when they find somebody like me. They like, oh, you're responsible for making people famous. Excuse me?
Say they take the hands off the wheel, so you drive.
Well, they think they don't have to do no work when they hire a publicist. Yeah. And that is the total opposite. You gotta, like, because what happens is once we start moving and we got traction, your work is to sometimes show up. Your work might be, I need these photos, I need this. So you gonna find yourself doing just as much work to make sure that the other part gets done. And that's the thing. People do not understand, like, the best working relationship that you can have with an industry person is when you do your part. Now, trying to do their part too, that's a problem too. But showing up, being a talent, doing everything you're supposed to do is all we be asking for. Like, and sometimes people can't do that.
So in other words, you the one filling out the whiteboard, but they still expected to do what's on the whiteboard. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to look at it. TOTB, the dopest. We have an amazing way of creating dialogue where we can feed people the information that no other platform is really doing like that. So I definitely want to thank you for dropping some gems and just educating me, because I didn't know a lot of that stuff as well. But for your service, for your work, for your participation, man, thank you for sure.
All right. Well, there's more information.
So, but now we're about to turn it up a little bit. Okay.
All right.
Now, I don't want to scare you off about what's about to happen. Okay.
From the west side, man.
Be ready, man. Stop it, man. Be ready.
You know what it is. Before we get into that bag grind, about that time.
Man, it's about that time. Shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plug. Listen, Moolah Monster Collections.
Yes.
Where can they find you at? Let them know.
MoolahMonster.com. Y'all come check me out. We got the fall release coming. The jogging suits. Y'all go check us out. We got some TOTB shirts too. We got one for you too. You know, when you leave right here, you know. And yeah, that's it. MoolahMonster.com, right?
Listen, y'all get in tune. MoolahMonster.com.
That's right.
Latest and the greatest on urban wear. Reggie, every Tuesday, what can they find you at, my
Every
brother?
Tuesday night, 9 to 11, the Nightcap Radio Show on My Radio Chicago. Get you ready for bed, relax, you know. She laughed like that was it. But no, for real, check me out on Tuesday nights. See y'all there.
All right.
I heard he be having people up.
Yeah.
Like up, Joe. Like 10, 11 o'clock, man. You know, we got bedtimes, man. But we're gonna definitely pop out, man.
So,
Briahna, anything you got for us?
Follow me at Swank PR, Briahna. Just Google me, Briahna Gatlin. I'm everywhere.
yeah, right.
Now listen, I'm not gonna get tired of telling y'all this. TOTB_show on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Go subscribe. Go watch some of them. If you ain't watched them, whatever you missed, we on our 48th episode.
48.
48. Listen, y'all, get in tune, man. Check out the episodes. Comment. You may get some comments back at you. You know, we done had a couple on there because we done had some people get on there and got ignorant about some of me and my brothers. And I was kind of, I wasn't worried about what you said about me, but when you talk about my brothers or my guests, we got problems. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, y'all get in tune, man. Check it out, TOTB_show on YouTube. And always check out Holy Grind on all streaming platforms. Check out my latest single, Fall Down, and the latest project, SRT. Listen, get in tune, stay in tune.
Indeed. So,
shout out to the plug.
Shout out to the plug, man. We won't be nothing without these wonderful people that help us do the things that we can do for the nation. All right, with that being said, to everybody that is subscribed and everybody that does follow us, right?
Because I'm waiting for the
it's
crazy
not that bad. Well, hopefully. So you guys, what's in that bag, man? Look, there is so many emails that is given, and y'all going through a lot of stuff out there.
You're getting famous for this role, you know that, right?
I really
don't leave us behind when you go do your own show and shit.
This is something that I wish I didn't have to read a lot, but basically, we're here to help. All right, we have a lovely, beautiful guest here that's very insightful. So I'm sure she's going to give her insight on this. We have Holy Grind, we got Moolah Monster, we got you guys, we got a lovely audience up in the building.
And we got the comments online.
We got the comments online. So I'm going to read this letter. All right. If there's something in that bag that you want to kind of give advice to, you can say something. If not, you don't want to touch it, it's too much or whatever, you ain't got to say nothing. All right. All right. That's what we're going to do. This letter has been sent to me not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay. The 3rd time, I'm definitely going to read it.
That's the charm.
I want to apologize because this is unlike most letters that's from women. This is from one of our guys. This is a brother. All right. We all know how difficult it is for men to be vulnerable, you know. So I want to salute you, brother, for writing this. And hopefully what's said on this platform can help you in your situation. All right. Good. Let's get it. All right. What is up, TOTB fam? I've been married for 4 years, and me and my wife have 2 kids. The first 2 years of our marriage was amazing. The 3rd year, however, was a little rough. But now, this 4th year, I think our marriage is at its peak, where we are happier than ever. So much so that a few days ago, me and my wife decided to renew our vows since a lot of our family members and friends couldn't make our wedding. This time, we are going to do things a little different. Last Tuesday, before we made final plans, she started crying. When I asked her what was wrong, she said she needed to confess something. She wanted to confess that last year, in our 3rd marriage, she had an affair with the guy she's been working with. As she continued to cry, I could hear her voice crackling, saying that she just cut things off. She wants to focus on our family. I love my wife. I love my kids. I don't want to leave my wife. I don't want to leave my kids. But in order for me to fully forgive her and renew our vows, I want to know every detail of her with this man. Am I wrong for wanting that type of information to move forward? Or should I just let it go, accept her apology, and move on with our happy life? All right, so. All right, brother. We're gonna get some insight here. TOTB is a platform where we try to help people out, for real. You know, we have numerous of people that respond to the things that we say and say, thank you for your advice, or this happened. Because of your advice, we did this. Because, you know, so we really want to take the time to thank you guys for trusting us to give you our opinions on your situation, right? This guy here has been going through some things. He's been married for 4 years, right? The first 2 years was amazing. The third year was real rocky, but this last prior year, they're really feeling happier. They're kind of contemplating like, man, we should renew our vows and just start over like a whole new thing. She started crying and confessed about her situation with her affair with the guy she worked with. He's feeling like he don't want to leave his wife. He don't want to leave his kids, but in order for him to move forward, to forgive her and renew these vows, he wants to know every detail of what happened with this man. Thinkers, our lovely guests, our audience, our viewers, think outside the box though. When situations like this happen, once cheating is confirmed, should this man want to know every detail? Is it cool for him to want to know every detail? Or should he just let it go? She confessed, they're happy, right? And just move on with their marriage. We have to go with our guests first. What do you think? What should he do?
First of all, they just got married and she cheating already?
Okay.
That's a whole nother, that's a red flag in my opinion.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, I just feel like, and no shade to y'all men, but y'all can't take what y'all dish out. So if she goes into detail, he gonna end up divorcing her anyway. Or that's how, because he's not gonna, I don't think he's gonna be able to handle it. And I feel like if she's cheating this early, she's gonna do it again. I think she for the streets.
For the streets.
Absolutely.
All right.
I tell you, Greg.
For the streets. Okay.
I think he should just avoid the heartache and the time and the money and cut his losses now.
And get a divorce?
I mean, they can coexist. They can have an open relationship.
Wow.
Whatever it is, this is too early in the marriage. Like, if she was able to be that vulnerable that quickly, I'm not certain that it won't happen again. When you get, by the time you are at the stage of marriage, you should be done being a hoe.
You should be done.
Ooh.
Okay.
But she not done being a hoe. She want to keep hoeing. However she want to do it. But she can do that in her own time. She's wasting somebody, she's creating something, because now he's not gonna ever look at her the same.
No matter what.
No matter what. That's my 2 cents.
So let's get everybody caught up here, because this is one of those situations where I feel like a lot of opinions are needed. You know, once again, this brother wrote in and said he's been married for 4 years. The first 2 years was great. That third year was really, really rocky.
Right.
But this last prior year, they've been doing really good. They want to get, like, you know, everything taken care of, you know, with a new wedding. But she confessed that I've been cheating with a guy I've been working with, right?
She still work there?
It's a good question. Should he cut his losses and say, you know what, I'm done? Or should he be like, you know what, that's the past, you confessed, we're good now, let's continue on with our marriage? Brian, what you think?
Well, we have such a great guest on. First, I want to say that, but I will say this. I'm not gonna tell you what I would do because I don't want to sway you either way. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you something. I will tell you this. If you was to decide to leave her, you wouldn't be wrong, because she broke covenant with you. If you was to stay, what I think your biggest problem is you don't want to be a punk. You know, you don't want to feel like you soft if you stay. Well, you ain't soft if you choose to stay. Mm-hmm. And you ain't soft if you choose to stay either. I want to touch on something that you said in the letter. Yep. You said that you said it was 2 years was good. The third year you think you reached your peak. And then the third year was the rocky year, right?
No, the third year was the rocky year. Yep.
The third year was the rocky. Yep. So at 2 years, he say they feel like they reached their peak. Then the third year was the rocky year, and now they're in the fourth year. Yeah. And she cheated in the third year. She cheated in the third year. You said third marriage, but I know he said met third year. Third year. Okay. Yeah. So this the first problem is your mindset already tell me your body language and your attitude towards your marriage, because you said that and it reached its peak in the second year. When a person feel like it reached its peak, that means there's some issues going on where you're not probably as enthused about being married. You're probably not doing some of the things you used to do starting off, and I'm not putting no blame on you for what she did. Maybe she ain't doing some things she used to do. Maybe she ain't as enthused about the marriage. But just your mind state alone tell me that there was some other things going on that probably led up to the point of where she ended up doing what she was doing. Okay. It doesn't justify anything that she did, but the fact that you want to stay tells me that there is something there that she's doing for you that makes you want to stay. Mm. So maybe you should talk to her, and not so much about, now I'm not saying you shouldn't know, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, that you shouldn't know all the details, because in order for you to forgive her, she the one that did wrong. So if that would make you move past it, whether it make you leave or stay, you know, if you want to know the details, then you got the right to know that. Yeah. You know, and who we don't know. The details might be, it really wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? That may be why she feel bad and decided to tell him. Because it was, you know what I'm saying, it was trash.
You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? So that may be why she came out and told him. So he on the mic make him feel good. Like, no, he wasn't bigger than you, and it wouldn't last nothing but 2 seconds. You know, you never know. So you know, that may make him feel good. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the case may be, you do got the right to know. But the first question would be what's the problem that made her even want to step out on you? Yeah. That's the issue you need to address if you want to stay. If you want to stay in the marriage. Go talk to her. What did I do? What was the problem? What made you want to go out and be with another man? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Was I not giving you the attention? It's things that I've dealt with before with other individuals that came to me, and I'm going to share something with you without name dropping, but it was a male that came to me about it, and I know some of his past, you know what I mean? And he wasn't always the best neither. You know what I'm saying? But what the bottom line was, he wasn't spending enough time with her. You know, she was going to events by herself. Every time she wanted to leave, he wanted to do something else. You know, he wasn't being there for her. She wanted him to go, but he found some other things that was more important than spending time with his wife. So then when he did find out, he found some things that was unexpected going on in her life with her and another male. Now it was like, man, but he didn't want to leave. And he came to me and I told him, if you want to stay, stay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It don't make you no less of a man to stay, but you got to fit. And when he told me what she said, I said, well, shoot, I've been telling you that. I've been telling you don't spend no time with her, bro. You know, I had to tell you, I'm finna go home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going home to lay up under mine. Like when I leave here, I'm going home to lay up under mine. And might touch and rub on something. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? When you get married, you can't forget about those things. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't forget about that. You know, so if you want to stay, bro, stay. If you want to know what's going on, if you feel, be ready, because it may not go in your favor what she tells you. But you do got the right to know if you feel like that's what it'll take for you to forgive her. And the same token, I can't disagree with you if you say you want to leave, because it is like my sister said, it's, man, 3 years? You can hold out for me 3 years. Yeah. We going through it. We was good the first 2, and as soon as it got rocky, you decided to go do something like, we gonna have ups and downs. Yeah. See, marriage ain't perfect. You know what I mean? You're gonna have ups and downs in marriage. That's why it's for better or for worse. But see, that's what make it better. Is what makes a good marriage It's the fact when you can have a downspout and you can come back stronger than you was before, because you choose to work through your issues rather than flee or do something stupid like lay down with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, so either way, bro, whether you want to stay or if you want to go, it's up to you. But figure out what was the thing to set off to make her go. If you want to ask that question first, deal with that first before you go to asking about the details. Because if you find out, you know, it really ain't nothing you did, you might not even want to know the details. You might just be like,
I think he want to cry. Right? Like he want to cry. When a person want to hear details, you really want to cry in front of it, because she's gonna make you cry, especially if he blew her back out, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. But that's what I want to get to, right? You know, she said she admitted it, right? Mm-hmm. So this let us know, right? Like, admitting is not the answer. Right? Because think about it. A person gonna leave. Being honest is not it.
Come on.
I'm keeping it 100. If you tell your partner, and she didn't have to do it. She could have kept it going on, right? But she told her partner, like, Joe, I smashed my coworker, right? That's like
chasing them, making them almost want to.
It's so crazy because, you know, people want to tell people like, Joe, man, I did this to you, man. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Can we move on from it? But that don't get you nowhere. That is not. So you might as well get caught.
No.
What I'm saying is, it's only a flip side to it. You gotta catch me.
I thought you was
nobody's being honest.
Turbo, honestly.
You might as
a
well
lot of people that get caught end up dead, bro. You don't play them games. Don't play
what
them
I'm
games.
saying is not trying to get caught, but
you just said the best idea is not get caught. That's what you just said, bro.
But it's a flip side. The flip side to it is,
he lost me on that.
I don't listen. I won't listen. People, it's people in the audience, right? If your mate came and told you that he went out the door and messed with somebody else, is you gonna keep him?
We know plenty that have done it.
But what I'm saying is,
babies on them and they still there.
But what I'm saying is, it's not a good look, right? Because
none of it is.
It ain't.
Because look at how he is. This is a man. Writing us, telling us, right?
Don't make us feel bad, man.
But he's writing us, telling us about, you know, his girl admitting that she, you know what I'm saying, that she did this. Now he want to hear details.
Maybe she want to break
this
up.
This man is hurt. He want to cry.
Or maybe the guilt. That's true. Hey, maybe the guilt have eaten her up. They married, bro.
Yeah.
Guilt can't eat you up.
But we are
if I'm wrong, tell me. Like guilt eat you up to the point where you can't help but say it.
Leave her.
I'm not saying leave, but I think again, like you just gotta know why you got married. That's really what it's about. She just started cheating so quickly. Like that's not even a lot of time. 2 years is. I'm just saying, like you're still getting. That's like the first 5 years you still in the honeymoon stage.
Should be, yeah.
You should be where you should be. So.
And how many people hitting one time?
Bro.
Come on.
No, keep on.
Nah, you right.
Come on, man.
Right.
No one time, it ain't happening.
It depends.
And they work together, so they see each other every day.
Come on, man.
So they had a relationship.
But you acting like you know he blew her back out. Because if it was trash, it might have been done with.
TOTB, the dopest. To our letter reader, we're trying to get you some insight here from our panel. Once again, everybody that's tuning in, continue with those comments and those shares to our lovely audience. If you have some advice for this young man, there's the mic. You can go up there and say your piece. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know.
Just get
Might as well get caught though. Like,
don't get caught.
That's what advice to tell him.
I'm glad she respect him enough to tell him though. I'm glad she did.
That's why I was trying to get to. Like what What do she get? No accolades for her admitting that she did that?
I don't giving her no damn accolades. I'm just glad she respect him enough to tell him. What accolades she gonna get for? I'm just glad she respect him enough to tell him. Before he caught him and did something to him or gave him something.
That is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that she admitted.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
I'm Francis.
Hey, Francis. What you
And
got?
my advice to this young man, run. I agree with the guest. If she would cheat within the first 5 years, she's for the streets. Him, don't ask questions, don't ask details. He wants to cry. I agree with Mullah. He wants to cry because the details he would ask for would just keep coming.
Yeah.
Oh, was it good? Oh no, was it better than yours? Well, how big was it? Did you lick it? Did you stop? You know, things of that nature. The questions would never end.
She right.
It's the truth.
Right.
We all know it. We're adults.
Okay.
The questions would never stop. He would never be satisfied with the answer because all he would think about is he penetrated my wife.
Yeah.
She may have gave him fellatio. You know, it would never end. So
I got a question for you.
go ahead.
Have you ever admitted to your partner that you cheated or you did something?
An ex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah, I did. What you want to know?
Oh man.
I'm saying, did he take you back?
Yeah.
He took you back?
Yeah. And guess what? The questions never stopped.
Always asking questions.
Always. It was an ex of many years and many years later. So tell me, they never stopped.
Yeah, they do.
They never stopped. So he
Quick
should
question.
run. Go ahead.
So, you from the West Side, right?
I
And you
am.
said she for the streets? That's what you said, right? Are you from
Stand
the West?
on it. I'm
Are you
from
from the West
and
Side?
she from the
Okay,
street.
that makes sense. Two West Siders saying some shit like that.
You
All
truly
right.
love a man,
We
a
not
woman,
saying-
I believe.
I think it's just more about being a person who is ready for marriage. She wasn't ready for marriage.
But she for the streets though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
Let me
she
add to
want to
that.
be in the streets.
And
It's
she
not.
made them vows. and
Let
did
me
what
answer
they-
that. We in a
Right.
culture where a lot of women want to be married, but don't really know what marriage
Yeah.
is.
There it is.
It's too
They
much
marry for the
work.
wrong reasons.
them.
They
Yep.
marry. Y'all might argue with me on this one. A lot of people overthink that, who you should be married to. You meet people sometimes and you just jam,
Yeah.
and they, oh no, because, I need to know this. You don't need to know anything. If you love this person and this person loves you, let's go, but you have to have something to substantiate that. You have to get to know them and, marry for the right reasons, not just for a piece of paper or just say, I was married, It's a lot of women doing that.
Yeah.
Not men, women.
Yeah.
They want a ring. They want to go on Facebook. Oh, I got married.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And you know what it is to substantiate that? It's purpose.
Yes.
Like when you marry, you should love that person, but you should also marry for purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a lot of things we overlook. We think it's just about sexual, or it's just about, because I like this person, but when you're not compatible and you ain't pushing each other to be better and grow better, and a lot of times that's because when we come together, we already feel like we established. So you can't help me do nothing. I know what I am, and you can't help. Listen, if you ain't coming in here making me, I don't care how established, how much money I got, how far along I made it in life. If you ain't coming into this thing looking to help make me better, and I ain't looking to help make you better, then we don't need to be in this together.
All right, Pastor, come on now.
Okay, Pastor.
When you excuse me,
because I'm long-winded.
when you told your guy
Uh-oh.
that you went out, did your thing. Have you ever felt the other side of that? Like, far as him
Being told that, yes.
How did that make
The
you
questions never stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? This ain't gonna work because I know you penetrated her. And I know all this stuff happened. I won't be able to live with that. Because if the day is good, I'll look at you. I wonder how deep you went. Or, things like that. It'll never go away.
So admitting it is kind of whack.
Hide it and get caught, Moolah.
Hey,
You want to stop until you have
I'm making
somebody.
that shirt tomorrow.
You want to stop until you got somebody. Once again, we out here, man. We're going to catch everybody up. We got another lovely person that's going to come up. This man, first of all, I want to thank him again. We don't get a lot of men that write to us. We don't. So I want to highlight that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother, for being vulnerable with us.
Appreciate you, bro.
This man has been married for 4 years. The first 2 years was great. The third year, it wasn't right. They was off. Last year has been good. Now they trying to renew their vows, and she confessed that, she cheated on him.
Can
right?
I ask a question
Yeah.
about the technicality? Did she admit, when did she break up with him? Can we go back?
They didn't break up.
No.
When
the
did she
dude
break it off with the
she-
coworker?
Right before they, said they was gonna renew their vows.
Okay, so that means she broke it off the 4th year when they were at their peak.
Right. Yeah.
So she was still cheating on him when it was rocky and when it was good. I'm just
mean,
asking questions.
Because they had to get better. Or what you said, because they had to get better to the point where they wanted to renew their vows. Or maybe he wanted to renew his vows to try to reestablish a relationship with his wife.
In the midst of him,
she's still messing with him.
In the midst of her even knowing that she was going to renew her vows, she still kept messing. She was still cheating.
Yeah, correct.
Which means she wasn't just cheating because they was having a rocky marriage. When it got good, she still kept cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm just asking for the technicality.
Yeah, and now he's at a point where he loves his wife, he loves his kids, he don't want to leave his family, but he feels for him to move forward, he wants to know the details of their affair. So we're here to help, bro. What's your name?
It's Nikki.
Hey, Nikki, what's up? What you got?
Hey, Nikki.
So I heard some of the details. And I'm going to speak from a person being single and why I stay single.
Okay.
The reason I stay single is to stay away from that type of thing. And not that marriage is bad.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand marriage. I didn't understand it. I understood the ideal I was sold as a child versus reality. Reality hit me once I got around marriage, people who were actually married and divorced and went through ups and downs and literally explained it to me and got to be in a conference where I got to get an understanding of what it really is and not a fantasy. And a lot of people are married to an ideal of a lot of things, but not the reality of a lot of things. And God is not the head of a lot of their stuff. It's them making their decisions and saying who I'm going to be tied to and who I'm going to do things with versus really building on yourself inside. A lot of people do not build inside their identity of what it takes to be a wife. And I had to discover that as a single person. So for that young lady to step out that soon means she didn't really understand the concept. She understood the day, the wedding dress, the bridesmaids, and the turn up. But she didn't understand the commitment that comes with it. Because when you say you're going to be committed, you're bringing another human being into your life and saying, I'm going to commit to you. And when it gets hard, you just can't run out. It's just like your job. You can't just be like, I'm going to quit today because they didn't do what I wanted. They didn't give me a raise within a day. I didn't become a manager within 3 years. It don't work like that. And once I understood the reality, I was not going to put anybody in jeopardy of that. So young man, you better really pray and ask God for guidance to make sure that this young lady's mindset is where it needs to be, because it don't sound like it. If she's cheating while it's good and it's bad, that means she never understood the assignment in the first place.
I like that.
Period.
I like that.
That's why.
Hold on, I got a question for you before you leave. Excuse me, I got a question for you before you leave. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So you blessed with all that knowledge. So why stay single?
It's me. I always tell people it's me. If I know I'm not ready for something, I'm not going to put myself there, because I can manifest things and I can say, man, I want this. But if I'm not working on me as an individual, I'm going to blow that blessing every time it comes to me.
Oh.
And I do not want to blow it when God sends me the person I'm supposed to be with. I do not want to play with it because I know the blessing that it is now that I'm at this age. I don't care if I'm 50 when I get it. I'm 41 right now. I'd rather get it at 50 and not blow it than be 41 and get it and blow it.
Amen.
All right.
That's it.
Amen.
And if that's what I have to tell myself. It's not that I don't fall prey to, man, I got baby fever. Man, that's my reality. Like, I'm 41. Oh my gosh, why don't nobody want me? But it's not that nobody wants me. I know their intentions aren't good. And I know my intentions aren't all the way pure either sometimes. It ain't about everybody else, it's about me. The only person I control is me. So why I'm going to put myself somewhere where I know I'm not mentally or ready? I'm just now going back to abstaining. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I got to detox from all those energies I allowed in my space that weren't worthy. and I had to have that conversation with myself.
Yeah.
Because nobody can check me but me. That's it.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline. I'm in my discipline era.
All right, cool.
Because if I don't get disciplined, I won't receive the blessings I want. I won't receive the life that I want. And I got to believe I'm worthy of what I'm asking for.
Y'all talking in here tonight, man. What's going on? All right. Hey. Dr. J, the comedian, man. What's up, my brothers? Give him a hand. What's up, bro? What you got?
Reggie, what's going on, man? It's a lot to unpack there, of course. But I'll say this. I think a lot of people fail to realize, to the young man and to his significant other, a lot of people fail to realize is that you watch this woman before you guys tied the knot be unfaithful, disloyal, dishonest, and all these other myriad of things before God, who is the creator of her life. What the hell made you think that she was any different, that she couldn't do the same to you? We get in these relationships and we put all these inferences on people thinking that, oh, they would never do me. They could never do me. When you're messing with another imperfect individual. So we put ourselves in a position of perfection and then we look at them as though they're imperfect. And you talked about assignments. You never know the assignment that God has for you. We always want the good stuff that comes with it. But what if God wanted you to be with this woman and to experience her cheating on you so that you can grow? We don't realize that God will save. He don't save us for us all the time. He saved us for somebody else. If you know the Bible story about when he went to the seashore, after he told his disciples, let us go to the other side, the sea started raging and everything, and they started bickering and murmuring, but he calmed the sea. But when he got to the shore, there was a man that had many demons, legions, and they knew he was coming. So the man said, listen, the demons inside the man said, listen, cast the demons into the swine. Suffer us to be cast into the swine. And his mercy and grace did just that. Why we can't be merciful? Why we can't realize that I have an assignment in this relationship, in this marriage. And in this marriage, yes, it's, the man made vows until death do we part, for better or for worse, rich and poor, and all these other good things. But at the end of the day, if I love you, it's because I choose to give my love to you. It's nothing you can do to earn it. It's nothing you can do to lose it. You get what I'm saying? I want to give it to you. So that man says he wants to be with his wife. He wants to give his love to her. He wants to give his adoration and appreciation. It's for her to come to terms to say, okay, cool, I want to give it back to him. Now, if he makes up his mind to say, listen, I don't want to wait till you get to that place, that's on him. But she's got to come to a place. It's two people coming together to say, hey, I want to give this to you. It's nothing you've done or nothing you could do to earn it, because the moment you stop doing those things, I'm going to take my toy and run. I'm going to take my love and run. I'm going to take my peace and run. So, brother, to gain your peace, you don't want to know the details. Listen, I looked at my girl's phone one time and seen her man that she was messing around with look like he was holding a sweet potato. Ain't nothing else for me to talk about. I don't want to look at no phones no more. I promise that. Look, if I worked for T-Mobile, I wouldn't look at nobody's phone.
I got a question for you, my brother.
Just getting into that place of peace within yourself, as an individual, and learning that God's love is not what we perceive it to be. Right. His ways are not our ways. Right. His thoughts are not our thoughts. There's no searching of his understanding. Learn how to stay in his will. And if God put you in that place, say, God, teach me what I'm supposed to learn here so that I don't fail this assignment. If it's supposed to be for me to forgive this woman so that she can stop being a whore and stop cheating, then help me to do that. Give me the tools to do that. Don't let me walk away and miss my assignment because her life might be in my hands. If I don't stand my ground and do what you call me to do, because I'm obedient to you, not her. The vows that we make in marriage, it's not supposed to be the vows that I make to you as my wife. I make a vow before God. And when I make that vow before God, I let him down. So if I'm letting him down, then you ain't got nothing to do with this. This is me and his relationship. And I can't allow you to ruin my relationship with him because you want to go out here and give away your privates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trust my father and believe on him
grind like
that you are able to do right by him. Because once you start doing him right, I'm in the clear. You're going to do me right. I gotta watch that.
Okay, listen. I got a question for you.
I got an offering pass around a plate.
Hey, no, I love that, man. But I wish I could, ever come to that point. But anyway, right?
Sound like Captain Saberhole a little bit.
Oh shit!
But hold on, because when you say that in that context, but he absolutely right. Because you got to think about it. When you say, well, that's what I was saying last week about your vows is to God. Your vows is not to the individual.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And there's the story. It's another story in the Bible, Hosea.
Yeah.
And Hosea was told to marry Gomer.
Yeah.
And Gomer was a prostitute.
Nasty one.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know. You don't know what's his purpose in that marriage.
You don't.
And we are responsible for our wives. I always put the accountability on the man. You know, we supposed to be the ones to lead.
Yeah.
We supposed to be the ones to protect. We supposed to be the ones to take it. Love our wives as Christ loved the church.
Yes.
If we expect our wives to be subject unto us, meaning they supposed to be governed by us, then we are supposed to love them as Christ loved the church, meaning we willing to sacrifice our life for them.
But once our wife hit the postman, hit the mailman, now we into something else.
And that's understandable, but what you still got to realize on this, that's understandable. But the question had to be raised: if she was subject unto him, how was he governing her? And that governing her. And that's why I say he got to see what was the problem that led up to that. If he wants to stay, we're not saying because you want to stay or because I want to stay. He's saying because he really loves her and he wants to stay with her. Yeah. So then he has to see what was the problem. Was I governing her properly as she was subject unto me as she was? And then he answered that question. Okay, he can say, well, maybe I wasn't doing right. I wasn't loving her as God instructed me on how to love my wife, and I allowed her to go out and do what she did.
Well, love covers a multitude of sins.
That it does.
So in that, understanding this concept is so simple, it's profound, to the place of, okay, cool. I can't love you how I want to love you. I got to love you how God wants me to love you. Once I learned that key aspect, we got to stop putting our own feelings and emotions into what we want. I want it to be like this. I want it to be like that. I want it to look like this. I want it to be dressed up like that. No, I want to love you how God wants me to love you. So if you need my help, if I'm your helpmate and you're my helpmate, if I ask you for 20 singles, I say, hey, go to the store. I need you to give me 20 singles, right? And you say, nope, I got 4 5s in my purse. I'm going to change it out for you. That's not what I need. You give me what you want me to have. That's not what I need. I need the singles. And you don't have to ask a question as to why I need it. Just provide my need. But what he may not have done, as Pastor was saying, he may not have been providing her need. So she went out. It doesn't justify it. It doesn't make it right. But once he starts to love her, and even through this, I've learned that love, when you can love somebody through that, man, the law of reciprocity is so real that the feeling of, I can't hurt this person again. After they loved me through this, after they stayed through this, it's not the Captain Save-A-Hole syndrome. It's the, hey, I'm being obedient to God. I'm being obedient to the one who gave me my life.
But then you are also expecting this person to reciprocate something that they may not.
No. I'm not expecting you to do nothing. I cannot put expectations on you.
No, but
I'm not. Hold on. You said I'm expecting something. I can't put expectations on you.
The person, the whoever, the female, the wife would be the person saying, I can't hurt this person because of what they.
I said the law of reciprocity will make most people get to that place of, hey, you know what? Because you love me through that and you forgave me for that. It's like, okay, if I stole something from you and you said, okay, I forgive you, I might not steal from you again because you let me back into that circle. Again, might. We're dealing with possibilities and probabilities.
That's why I said that's not an equation. It's not 1 + 1 = 2 then. I'm just throwing out the fact that, again, you can't also do things expecting anything back.
Of course, it's not my expectation.
But you're saying that you're saying 9 times out of 10, we don't know.
He's just saying it's possible.
It
is possible because that's how it works.
So if she don't, then you know, I'm still going to be good. If she doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
It's possible you're wasting your time too.
I'm not doing it.
I'm
not doing it. Hold on, I'm not doing it for her to do it. I'm doing it for me. Right?
To God. I get,
so exactly. So just like forgiveness, I don't forgive you for you. I forgive you to free me. Right? So in that same thing, if you don't come back, or if you do come back and you do it again, I'm not mad because my reason and rationale for doing it was never for you in the first place. I hoped that you would change. I hoped that you would hear my heart. I hoped that you would be obedient to God's will concerning our marriage. I hoped. But in the place of reality, hey, hopes are just hopes. You know what I'm saying? So if you do it, great. If you don't, I got to do this for me so that I don't fail him. Because he watching me, especially as the man. he's watching me as the man to make sure I hold my mantle and do what I'm supposed to do. So at the end of the day, that's
100%. And you just said it though. You said it's a gamble, but guess what? I always told it, and y'all know this. I done told y'all this multiple times. We willing to gamble our life out here in these streets, going to jail, getting murdered. We willing to gamble out here catching AIDS. We willing to gamble doing everything. Why wouldn't you be willing to gamble? Not gamble, but take a chance on making things right with a woman you chose to give your last name to.
You should.
I want to hop in real quick. And first of all, give a hand clap to Dr.
Thank
Jenny.
you, bro.
This is why
Thank you for that.
I really wanted to have multiple views on this particular letter, especially because it's from a man and we don't really get letters from men. It's good to hear from men. It's good to hear from women. And then there's him. But no, it's really good to. So before I give my, did you have something you want to say? Go ahead. No. Please, by all means, go ahead. How you doing?
I'm amazing, King. Grand day, everyone. Like King was saying, it's a lot to unpack here. Most importantly, there are just foundational principles regarding love before you can even get to the merge into one. There are foundational principles on love that we do not understand. We don't know the definition. He's talking about agape. He's not talking about the other 7 or 9 that are, Greek or Hebrew definitions of love. He's talking about agape. And what unconditional love truly means is that there isn't a precondition that could exist that I wouldn't love you. There's forgiveness in place, restoration. That's on a constant. That's what love is. The greater love, he asks, what greater love is this that you lay down your lie? Stop lying. Tell the truth for your friend. Learn how to be a friend from theory to lab to life. Rock true friendship. That's our problem. We forgot to be the friend. Yep. We forgot his principles, like King is saying, and I'm here to serve God. I'm not result driven. So you can look at love as a gamble when you're focused on the results. But when you're focused on obedience to the law, to my King, to him, for you, on your behalf, I wouldn't care what you do. God is going to rearrange parts for his name's sake solely. So I'm going to learn the lessons. If I focus on the lessons, because the other person is just a mirror. And Queen, don't come out the game. You're going to always be single. Right. Your marital status only changes when an offer is on the table and you've received it. But you can't practice in the gym by yourself. You can get those fundamentals, but you need a form of competition to grow up against. You need a game. Get in that game so you can learn, hey, all right, now I need to learn how to move a little bit left. I need to work on my right. But don't pull out the game because that's learning for you. And even if he never put you with anybody else, you've mastered singleness, which is the ultimate goal anyway.
Come on now. Sheesh. No, don't clap. I like it. Somebody might as well get called.
I don't want to be on camera.
Go ahead.
My insides is burning. Everything you guys said, I agree with it. Sounds great. But we need to keep in mind that most people these days that get married are not well versed with the Bible. They don't know God.
That's all I'm saying. They don't know none of this.
So he may not. I don't know if he stated in the message at some point that they were biblical or anything or into the church. Most people aren't. So what are those people? They don't know, what they should do and, satisfy God and Jesus. Most people aren't, so let's talk about that.
Okay. If I can just say something real quick. At some point, you got to admit that what you've been doing is wrong.
There it is.
What you've been doing ain't working, at least. If you really care about wanting to be in a relationship, God or no God, learn the principles. Learn hey, at least study yourself and say, I've been doing this wrong.
Yes.
Did they go to couples therapy
you care
before?
About another person. You can leave from
a
all the
lot
way
could
out
have been
of
done.
You really want something, study to show yourself approved.
And then if you got
just like going to college, educate yourself.
Just like you study patterns in your life, you know what works for you and what doesn't. At some point, you gotta know what you've been doing because it worked. You haven't got the results you're seeking. It's like going to the gym for the first day, expecting to have a six-pack on the first day. That doesn't work. It's like, no, that's delusional.
Hey,
it's
man.
I gotta actually say, okay, what kind of diet do I have in my private life? what am I feeding my brain? What belief system am I giving myself that I'm actually going to hit this goal?
Yeah.
It's about the goal. We study everything else but how to obtain a marriage.
And we don't study our partner a lot, right?
No. We don't invest in the person in front of us.
Because it's like we people hop to one relationship to another and they use the same basic format.
Yes.
I'm like this. I train a woman to love me. Like I want her to, I know you love him differently, but I'm training you to love me. This is how I like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm different like that because I don't want the same love you've been giving dude.
Right.
Because that's why y'all basic and toxic. You know what I'm saying? Come over here where it's smooth at. You know what I'm saying? The grass is nice.
I just said, I'm training you to love me.
Smooth.
A lot of people out here
so many layers.
To even train somebody how to love them properly, because they don't even love themselves.
They don't even love themselves.
Okay, so with all of this, why did they go to couples therapy before this? Like, I'm just.
Well, that's why he called. That's why they right
people, again, when they before they get married, some pastors require you to.
And a lot of them, and a lot of them, this blood is on their hands because a lot of them
allow it.
A lot of them agreed to marry him even though they knew that there was problems already in the beginning.
And again,
if they never would address.
With the why y'all get married before. There were so many things y'all could have did before y'all got to this.
Yeah.
So most people, the pastors that marry couples, they have a requirement. You're gonna go. You have to do 10 sessions, or we need to go to therapy for this amount of time before. So I just don't understand.
Some of them, because as long as you pay them, they'll marry you anyway. So that's the problem.
Let me get my.
But let me say this real quick, because she made a good statement, and they gave you a great answer. You got to learn the principles of it. If you're gonna indulge in it, learn what it's about. Yeah. But let me tell you this: for those that say they don't know God, okay, marriage is the institute created by God. Therefore, if you want to know how it works, go to understand, like they saying, how God intended for it to be. And that's why I tell people, don't worry about what the other person is doing. Let me tell you how God works. When you do what you're supposed to do and you take care of your part, God will do two things. Either he'll change that person or he'll remove that person from the equation. He won't have you questioning whether you want to stay or not. He will give you clarity on what you should do. But you have to do your part as part of loving her as God told you to love her. And the reason people don't know how to love is because when we say we don't know the definition of love, well, 1 John 4:8 say, he who loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. We don't know how to love until we know who we are in Christ. Until we know who we are, according to God, then we really don't know who we are. So find out who you are in God, and then you'll really know how to love. And then you will know who really loves you, and you'll know whether to move on or to stay.
All right.
Holy.
All right. So I'm going to give my few cents. So, I mean, a bunch of great advice here. And if you guys are commenting out there, please continue to do so. I'll say this to this brother. Once again, thank you for taking the time to write to us. We do not have a lot of men that write these letters, so I want to thank you for that. Situations like this, when you're a man and you're in a marriage, right? And you deal with a woman that comes and she shows, herself to, be vulnerable to tell you these things, right? When you said in this letter, brother, that I love my wife and I love my kids. I don't want to leave my wife and I don't want to leave my kids. That should have been that. It should have been but I need to find, no. Once you establish that out your mouth, focus on fixing it. That's, you're married, you committed to your family, right? None of us is perfect. We all gonna make mistakes. We don't know what drove that woman to cheat, how many times she did it, how many times she seen a sweet potato. Like none of that stuff. We don't know none of that. But you made it in your mind when she told you what she did, you still said, I love my wife, I love my kids. I don't want to leave my wife. I don't want to leave my kids. Leave it at that. Find ways to now, if y'all didn't go to therapy now. Yes. If you need to separate and, go stay at your mama's house or something, do that. I would highly suggest you take the time to focus on what you want and what you need according to your heart. Your heart says you don't want to leave. Don't leave. Your heart says you don't want to leave your kids. Don't leave your kids. Now you take the steps to fix your marriage. And you never know where it might go. You guys might actually can make it and make a success story out of it. So That's my advice. All right. So much has been said here, man. I want to give a wonderful thanks to our lovely guests in the building. One more time, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Briahna. Wait, what is my Instagram? Briahna31. So Briahna 31. Or you can Google me, Briahna Gatlin, or Briahna J on Twitter. Swank PR. Swank PR is my company. That's SWANKPR. My website is Swank Publishing. If y'all don't know how to spell publishing, then but it's Swank SWANK publishing.com. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Moolah Monster, man, where can they find you, bro?
MoolahMonster.com. Check me out. And Moolah Monster Collections on Instagram. Check us out. And you can go on my website and look at all the behind the scenes footage. You know, we be out here, you know, kidding around. So you can check us out.
Indeed. Holy Grind, what's up, bro? Where can they find you?
At Holy Grind everywhere and TOTB_show on YouTube.
Indeed. Reggie moving forward on all platforms. You can find me at the Nightcap on Tuesday nights. You can find me definitely here with TOTB. Me and Ashley, Dr. J, we got an event coming up, man, with the collab. So shout out to that. You know,
okay. Shout out to Scholar too.
Yeah, shout out to B Scholar who couldn't make it with us tonight, and definitely to our lovely guests, man. We so thrilled to have you guys here to engage with us. We will see y'all next episode. All right. With that, we are
thinking outside the box.
We'll see y'all next time, man.
See things that come to head, time out for scare you, scare reroute today. And follow us down Courage Lane. They cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day. But not talking intoxicating rage, not intoxicating tragic.